On the inside lapel of the box, there is some instructions there, okay? But we'll just lift him out now. Okay. So we open the top bag up, it's all nicely sealed up, keep it nice and clean in transport. This is the mineral pad that sits in the bottom, adds essential minerals back into the water. Top plate. This is the ceramic cartridge that fits into the very top tank of the water filter. The different stages, carbon and then the mineral below to elevate the pH of the water. Our lid to go on the very top. Little faucet tap. There's our top tank, bottom tank, and last but not least, here's our base. Okay, so step number 1, turn the base over, make sure you get a nice flat surface like a bench like this, and we're good to go. Here's the bottom tank. Now we're going to install the tap first. Okay, what you can do, it is new, wouldn't hurt to give it a nice little wipe over, bit of lemon in the water, something like that, just give it a wipe over before you start to use it. Okay, here's the faucet, comes with 2 washers and obviously the locking nut, and we're just going to put it through the hole in the bottom tank. So the first thing we do is insert one of the rubber washers under the thread, make sure it's pushed right up against the backen plate, and then we're going to take the thread and we're going to put it straight through the hole in the water filter. We'll apply the second washer and then we'll put the nut on the inside to lock it on and tighten it up. Okay? So there we go, very simple, straight through, put our washer on, you can see what's going on here. It's all brand new, does up very easy, okay? Now what I do, you've got to be careful, we don't want to damage or break the tap, but what I'll do is I'll just leave the faucet at about 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock on a clock, on that angle as you can see. I'll tighten up the nut on the inside as tight as I can by hand, and then while I'm holding the nut on the inside, not touching the chrome part, just the tap, just turn it up to 12 o'clock gently, okay? You can't get too carried away, you might break something. But there we go, and that should be enough to seal it up. If you had a little leak or a dribble out the bottom, you'd have to get a spanner, put it on the nut on the inside and just tighten it up a little bit. The only reason it'll leak here is if it's not tight enough. There's 2 very good washers on each side, and as long as it's tight, it'll never leak, okay? So there we have it. And then we push the base down into the holder, and there we go, okay? Next part we're going to need is our mineral pad. Take the mineral pad out. Now you can get the mineral pad, it'll have a lot of fines in it. It's been bouncing around in transport and things like that, beads rolling as it was processed. So I take this and rinse it around in a bucket, give it a good swirl around in a bucket, get all the little fines out of it before you put it into your filter. And then the mineral pad simply sits in the centre, flat on the bottom of the filter like so. Okay? Once that's in there, we get our bottom tank lid. We'll also get the bottom filter, the carbon filter with the mineral layers below it. Okay, now you can see it. As you can see, it's got a cover in the top, and there's a very fine gauze in there as well. Holds all the carbon in, and the other minerals below. Now this one here screws into the thread in this top plate. Right, that plate's going to go on there, and the mineral pad's going to hang underneath. So it's got a good coarse thread in it. You do have to take a second and get it in nice and straight. That's it, lock him on tight. We want it to seal, we don't want the water leaking around the edge, but it's got a nice lip on there that'll hold it. Just lock him on nice and tight and you're good to go. Once again, you can hold this cartridge here under the tap, bucket of water, give it a swirl around and get any fines in it, any carbon fines, just wash it out before you put it in the filter, screw it on and we're good to go. And you see how easy it is coming together. It's good and strong, and that's just going to sit on there. Okay? Now we've got the top tank, hole in the bottom, that's where our top ceramic cartridge is going to go. Now the situation is here, this is the domed ceramic cartridge that comes with the water filter. Perfectly fine to use, perfectly good on rainwater, stop the bugs in the rainwater, and this is great for rainwater, this is. It's just a cheap little system, and what will happen if you've got rainwater, you'll tip the rainwater into the top tank, the bugs will be stopped by the ceramic cartridge, the water will trickle down, gets polished up by the carbon, goes down through the mineral layers. But rainwater is acidic at about 5.56 pH, so as the water goes down it elevates the pH and you turn your rainwater just like that into about 8 pH water. Really, very nice. Okay. When I'm handling these ceramics, I'll always keep the bag on there. Get a lot of oil and stuff in your fingers, and we just don't want to get it embedded in the ceramic cartridge. We want to look after it as good as we can. But once again, I'll get this cartridge and we'll rinse under the tap, get any ceramic fines off the outside, and just give it a rinse over. And you can even get a bucket of water and hold it in the bucket of water. They have a lot of air in them, and so when you first set it up, if you set it up and stand here waiting, you're going to get bored because it takes a long time for the water to initially push all the oxygen out of the ceramic cartridge before it starts to run through the filter. But if you put the cartridge in like we're going to do now, fill up the top tank and go to bed, you'll come out in the morning and all the water will be in the bottom tank and the cartridge will have done its job. Okay, so just take that simple nut off the bottom. They've got one little rubber washer here, and that's to seal on the hole at the top tank. So we put the thread straight through the hole. They do have a large hole in them, so just try and put the centre, the thread right in the centre as best you can. I hold them up vertical like that, and then we're just going to screw the nut straight on the top and do him up. Okay. Now as I just mentioned, okay, beautiful. Now as I just mentioned, this is perfect for rainwater, okay? Stop the bugs, absolutely perfect. And it's okay in the city too, don't get me wrong. Stop the contamination, stop the sediments in the water, the carbon will help with the chlorine, etc. But our city water is getting pretty ordinary nowadays. There's a lot of chemical in it, okay, right? It's pretty nasty. So what you can do with these water filters is, here's the ultra pure candle, okay? Just a candle like this one here, a little bit higher. You can go onto the website and get an ultra pure candle. 4 pages of contamination removal. Just 99.99% any bugs, 99.9% chlorine, chloramine, all the nasties, 97% for fluoride. So if you're using it in the city and you just want to get a cheap filter, but you really want it to perform like a professional filter, just put an ultra pure candle in the top of that and you've got very good water, I promise you. Okay, once that's done, here's our lid and on she goes. As you can see, that won't fall over. I can just about stand on that. It's as strong as a rock. Get your water in the top tank, flow through into the bottom, get your glass, push it on the tap. Simple as that. We have hardly any of these little taps that ever break, and we sell hundreds of these water filters. So they're just a good, cheap for the family. If you haven't got a water filter and you want something, you can just go for one of these. Get you going. It'll make a big difference to the drinking water for the family. Okay? So enjoy. Thank you very much.